Everyone, good afternoon to all. SG Tech has been appointed by IMDA to run the vendor briefing sessions since May 2019. SME's Go Digital program is a national program administered by IMDA together with sector agencies to support digitalization for SMEs across 23 sectors as specified in the industry transformation maps. For today's briefing, we will cover Career Conversion Program Sharing Session by Workforce Singapore, WSG, followed by the pre-approval process for new and re-application vendors. After that, we will introduce other programs such as CTO as a service and an introduction to SG Tech. Depending on how long the Q&A will take, we are expecting the entire session to take about an hour. So I will be passing the time to JC from WSG.
Thanks, Pauline. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm JC from Workforce Singapore. Pauline, can you go to the next slide, please? So just an overview of what Workforce Singapore is in case some of you have not heard of us. We are essentially a statutory board under the Ministry of Manpower. So our focus is really on supporting the workforce, be it through the job seekers themselves or through employers with their existing employees. So there are actually two branches of WSG, one of which will be reaching out to the job seekers. I personally come from the side that will reach out to employers to share with them on some of the initiatives that we have to support their manpower needs and etc. So for today's sharing, you will be wondering, why am I here? So it's actually to share with you this particular program that we have called the Career Conversion Program. Not sure how many of you have heard of it before, but essentially I'm just here to share about this program and illustrate to you how you could potentially package it along with your AI solutions that you have to your prospective clients. In a way, this could potentially also offset some of their costs. So next slide, please, Pauline. Yeah, the next one. Yeah, so essentially the career conversion program, like the name suggests, essentially it is to help employers to reskill or place mid-career switchers to meet their immediate company business needs. So for instance, we have two modalities. It's either the place and train, whereby the company can hire someone who has never done the particular role before under the career conversion program and train them up to take on the new job role, or through the job redesign reskilling, JRR for short, whereby they could reskill their existing employees if there is a change in their job scope, should there that results from any, say, shift in business focus, or for instance, the adoption of AI technology or solutions that impacts their roles. So these are the two key modalities that we have. And the career conversion program essentially will provide up to 90% salary support for the training duration. Next. So as you can see, the CCP has actually helped up to 47,000 locals so far since 2016 until February 2024 in terms of placing them in new job roles or supporting their reskilling to take on new or enhanced job roles within their respective companies. So this counts up to about 5,000 locals annually on average. And actually about 90% of them remain employed with their CCP host company even after 18 months. So this actually shows how CCP could support the reskilling, facilitate the stability of these employees and allow them to continue to stay with the company. Next. So how this CCP will work, maybe like let me put it in the perspective of from your side, that when you talk to companies and you have this particular AI solution that you are selling to your prospective clients, essentially, let's say if, for example, you have this ERP system for it, that you are actually rolling out. So when companies actually adopt your solution, they could or may not come with job change. For instance, operations executives may pivot into needing data analytics skills, for instance, to perform enhanced roles and stuff like that. So with this shift in terms of the job scope, it then comes a need for them to reskill these employees within. So this is where CCP could come in to support. Essentially, what the company will then need to do is to identify those employees or job roles that could have been impacted with this adoption of an AI solution. So it could actually be the existing employees needing to take on new jobs, or it could be them resulting in the creation of new job roles that they need to hire for. So they just do this identification process first. Thereafter, they put them on the career conversion program, whereby it actually covers on-job training as well as optional structured facilitated training if required. So I'll go in a bit more in detail later on this particular area. During this period, the company will receive salary support. Then thereafter, these candidates will be ready to continue with their new job role, be it as a new hire or as an existing employee. Yeah, next slide. So just sharing the salary support, which could be the pitch that you can have for your prospective clients. So in a sense, we have two salary support rates, the standard rate and the enhanced rate. So the enhanced rate will apply to two groups of people. First and foremost, employees who are aged 40 years old and above, or new hires that were long-term unemployed for the last 6 months. So if any of your prospective companies, after adopting an AI solution and they figured, hey, I have this job role that I need to fill, or hey, I have this existing employee that I need to reskill, and these candidates happen to be above 40 years old, or they happen to be long-term unemployed for past 6 months, they will automatically qualify for the enhanced rate of up to 90% salary support, which is where the funding amount is capped at 7,500 per month. Anyone else, meaning to say candidates who are below 40 years old, they will go under the standard rate of up to 70%, capped at 5,000 per month. So what this means to your prospective clients is essentially this salary support could offset some of the reskilling costs that they could incur with the adoption of new AI solutions. And of course, they are also free to tap on the course fee subsidies provided by, say, our sister agency, for instance, SkillsFuture Singapore, if they take on any of their accredited courses in order to reskill their employees in this motion as well. Yeah, next slide. So just a quick overview of the eligibility criteria so that when you guys speak to companies and package it together, you guys kind of know what could work and what could not work for the company as well. So essentially for career conversion program, the eligibility criteria for the individuals is that the employees need to be Singapore citizen or permanent resident and age 21 years old and above. They need to have graduated or completed national service for at least 2 years already at the point of application, which means this career conversion program is not suitable or not eligible for fresh graduates, for example. In addition, these individuals must not be related to the owners of the company, and they must not be a shareholder of the company as well. So there are some modality-specific requirements. So for new hires, meaning to say they have a job role and the company is hiring someone to place within, for them, they need to be hired for not more than 3 months, meaning to say they need to be onboarded onto the program within the first 3 months from their date of join. They must not be in the same job role prior to joining the CCP. Meaning to say, let's say, just now I was using the ERP system whereby the person needs to do some form of data analytics, for instance. If someone is hiring a data analyst after they adopt ERP system and they need to perform such activities, they cannot, the person must not have done any data analyst roles prior to joining this company. If not, they will not be eligible for CCP. Last but not least, they must not be immediate ex-staff of the CCP company. For existing employees, meaning to say to reskill those that are already with the company, there's just one requirement whereby they must have been employed with the company for at least 1 year already before they can onboard onto the program. So onto the employer side, essentially what's most important to them is they are actually registered with an ACRA and a UEN, and they must have a full-time position being offered to the candidates with a fixed monthly salary that is above the respective CCP's minimum eligibility salary. So I'll just unpack this a little bit. WSG has about 100, actually more than 100 career conversion programs, and different career conversion programs across different sectors may have different minimum salary eligibility. So essentially, that criteria is dependent on the career conversion program that the person takes on. So the remaining will be the same as the individual side, and the company simply just needs to provide the necessary on-job training for the candidate and commit to the CCP training arrangements that they have set up along with the program partners for the trainees. Yeah, next slide. So maybe I think what I've covered previously was just really very conceptual and context and really program-specific information. So maybe let me try to unpack it a little bit on how it could work across different examples, I would say. So let's say this first prototype that we have a retail company, for instance, they are planning to enhance their consumer targeting strategy and also to improve their store operations to make it more efficient and more effective. And as such, they decide to adopt an AI POS, point of sale solution, that actually comes with data analytics components, say predictive analysis and such, in order to help them to analyze their business performance and make certain decision making. So with that, the roles could be redesigned. For instance, your physical store managers now no longer go around with a clipboard, checking off manually to take stock or take inventory or manually outreach to other potential customers. Instead, they could leverage on the data generated by the system to support their decision making. So with this, you would see, hey, the store managers actually do need to pick up data analytics skills or even business intelligence skills, for example, in order to perform in their enhanced role due to the adoption of AI solution. And this is where they could potentially come on board the career conversion program for a business intelligence manager, whereby then this retail company, by doing so, the retail company will receive the salary support and they will be able to reskill these employees effectively to take up this new role and then to make better use of this particular POS AI solution. So that's just one example. Next. So another example that could work is also maybe say in the hospitality sector. So say a hotel, right? A hotel, maybe they intend to improve their guest service and engagement, to strengthen their market segmentation, and of course, to enhance their outreach capabilities. And with that, they adopt, again, a customer relationship management CRM system that is again packed with AI-enabled digital marketing and customer relationship components to support these segments or these functions that they require. So with this, again, their job roles could be redesigned. So for instance, event coordinators, perhaps now instead of running physical road shows and all, now they can actually use HubSpot as an example of a CRM solution, just an example, for customer segmentation, lead generation, or outreach efforts, for instance. And then maybe the reception officers could also tap on the CRM system, right, to engage their guests. Depending on their customer lifecycle or persona, they could actually assess such details or such behavioral analysis of these kind of hotel guests before making certain decisions. So with that, taking the event coordinators as an example, then perhaps they then need to pick up digital marketing and business development skills so that they can effectively make better use of the CRM system to perform in the new role. And they could potentially also go on board the CCP for digital marketing professionals as an example. Next. Yeah, so this is the final example that I have. So it's just maybe perhaps a more generic ERP system, whereby a company, perhaps they will want to integrate various business functions within one single platform to enhance the operational efficiency. So they adopt the ERP system, again, packed with AI-enabled solutions provided by an AI vendor. And this actually provides advanced reporting and real-time insights of key business processes to support the company. So with this, with all the business functions being integrated into one platform, it will definitely impact various jobs across functions. For instance, accounting, sales, operations, and etc. Right? Then these employees, instead of doing their normal work and all, they then now need to shift towards making sense of the data that is generated by the solution, to see how they could make use of the data to support their what they are doing or to support key decision making. And this comes the need for them to have data analytics and business needs analysis skills that they may not have while they were doing their previous role. Let's say if they were an operations executive. And hence, by taking on a CCP for associate data analyst, they can pick up on these skills in order to perform in their new enhanced role. Yeah, next. So those were just some 3 key examples that we had put together in order to illustrate to you how perhaps the AI solutions that you have could actually result in the need for your prospective clients to have some of their job roles redesigned or to reskill some of their employees. And by packing CCP along with an AI solution together as a package, you could potentially help the company to offset their costs, be it in terms of taking up the solution or be it in terms of reskilling their employees as a result of taking up your solution. This will come across as a full package supported by WSG and by yourself as an AI vendor. So if what you see on screen now, it is non-exhaustive, but it basically just covers some of the CCP tracks that we currently have. So like I mentioned earlier, we have over 100. So now what you see on the screen now is simply just more of those that are related to the ICT job roles, as well as some other functions, maybe say the human capital, or a digital advertising and marketing, or a professional executives that will cover across project management, operations role, and etc. So these are just some examples. If you'd like to find out more on the full list of the CCP tracks that you could potentially package together when you reach out to your company's prospective clients, be it depending on which sector they are from, and etc., you can scan the QR code on the screen. I believe this deck will also be shared with you at the end of this webinar. So you can also take a look at that as well. Next. So we have also put here the contact details of the CCP program partners for those CCP tracks that we have kind of showed on the previous slide. Again, this is non-exhaustive. So at any point in time, if you think that your company may, your prospective clients may want to tap on the CCP in order to reskill some of the employees as a result of taking up any of the AI solutions that you provide, feel free to direct them to the program partner. If not, you can also direct them to WSG. You can come to myself for more clarifications or for referrals, or maybe you just want to link the company up with us so that we can support them in the reskilling, etc. We can do that. So I will share my email address. I'm not sure if this chat actually, if you guys can see the chat, but maybe later I may trouble the SGTech and IMDA colleagues to maybe share my email address across with you guys. So if you have any clarifications, or if you want your prospective clients to reach out to us and all, you can just share my email address with them. Yeah. Next. So that's it that I have for my sharing. I will just pause here for a while. If you have any questions, you can voice out, or I'm not sure if you can voice out, but you can key through the Q&A segment as well. Then we'll address accordingly if you have any clarifications with regards to this CCP or how you could package it along with your AI solutions. Yeah. Alternatively, if not, you can, I think if you have any questions, you can also direct them to our SGTech and IMDA colleagues. They will convey your questions over to WSG, and we will address them and get back to you. Yeah. So if there are no questions, maybe I'll hand it back to Pauline from SGTech. Yeah.
Thank you, JC. So for existing vendors who came in, please scan the feedback form. And at the end of the feedback form, you'll be able to download the presentation slides from JC. For new vendors, please continue to stay with us for the SMEs Go Digital pre-approval processes in the next few slides.
Sorry, Pauline, if you don't mind, I think I see a question in Q&A. Maybe I address that question first, then you can move on. Yeah, so sorry. So I think pardon me if I'm pronouncing your name wrongly. Kiet Chong asked whether or not the solution has to be AI driven. I think essentially, technically speaking, I think this briefing was set up for AI vendors. But if let's say your solution is not necessarily AI driven, it could be say cloud or etc., which could potentially also lead to say job change in your prospective clients. You can still feel free to share with the CCP with them, and also link them up with us if they are interested. So it is not a must for it to be AI driven. I think the examples that we have shared is AI specific, because I think we expected most vendors online here to be AI solution vendors. But if let's say your solution is not AI driven, but you say cloud or any other forms of technology that could result in job change, you can still share with your prospective clients, and we will still support through the CCP if eligible. Hope that answers your question. Yeah. If not, back to Pauline. Thank you so much.
So in the upcoming slides, I will be sharing on how the revised data analytics and personal data protection requirements in the vendor self-assessment checklist that you need to align your digital solutions to. Firstly, the SME landscape. Today, SMEs constitute 99% of the local enterprises, which make up 2/3 of the national workforce and contribute to close to 50% of the GDP. So what is the definition of a SME? Based on Enterprise Singapore's definition, a company's group's annual sales turnover should not be more than 100 mil, or company group's employment size is not more than 200 workers. The major concerns encountered by SMEs in their respective businesses are rising costs, especially for businesses in sectors which require rental of physical space, high turnover of staff, and that staff might not have sufficient knowledge or are not tech savvy enough to handle complex software. The purpose of SME's Go Digital program is to make going digital as simple as these 3 steps. Firstly, SMEs can assess digital readiness of their business from Chief Technology Officer as a Service, namely CTO as a Service platform, a one-stop web application, and refer to the industry digital plan for their different sectors. This is a step-by-step guide that helps SMEs to assess and adopt suitable digital solutions depending on the stages or readiness of their businesses. Support from the consultancy services at Digital Tech Hub has retired, and it has been succeeded by CTO as a Service. Next, IMDA will guide SMEs to take the first steps with useful industry knowledge. Then you as a vendor would know what are the solutions needed and what are the new sectors to be added in. As such, your SME customers are able to adopt especially pre-approved digital solutions for the respective sectors, and best part of it is that it will come with grant support. Regarding point 3, where can your SME's customers get help? They can use CTO as a service to request for digital advisory and project management services, or approach the SME centers if they need or require business advice. Also, just to add, Start Digital, which was launched in January 2019, is meant to help guide new startups on the type of digital solution they should take on. It is a joint collaboration with IMDA, Enterprise SG, telcos, and banks. So these 3 steps are the end-to-end process, illustrates the comprehensive resources that SMEs can reference to start their digitalization journey or take the next step to deepening their digital adoption. Currently, we have a total of 20 IDPs for 21 ITM sectors launched to date, with the latest tourism IDP refreshed in November 2023. The Industry Digital Plan, IDP for short, is a step-by-step guide for SMEs. Within IDP, solutions are articulated across 3 different stages of business growth. The categorization of solutions for respective stages are based on global trending and validation studies with the sector agencies and industry to map out the type of solutions required by the businesses. This is so that SMEs are able to spot the solution which they need based on their stage of business growth. Building on the foundation established by the current IDPs, the new model will include, firstly, refresh solution suite offered under the Digital Solution Roadmap. Number 2, integrated and advanced solutions to improve digital connectivity and deepen SMEs' digital capabilities. 3, a roadmap on cybersecurity and data protection measures. 4th, expansion and updating of digital training roadmap to be aligned with the refreshed solutions under the digital roadmap and include change management. This is an example of the digital roadmap developed for the food services sector, which was refreshed in November 2022. It has taken into consideration trends observed in the sector, such as the shift in consumer behavior towards digital ordering, e-commerce, and food delivery, as well as assist F&B companies overcome challenges. Once SMEs know what types of solutions they require, they can choose from a list of pre-approved solutions for the respective sectors that they can adopt hassle-free depending on their area of need. SMEs customers are then able to enjoy funding support. Pre-approved solutions are pre-scoped with software, subscription, hardware, professional services, and training required for automation of their operations. SMEs can apply for a pre-approved solution through Business Grant Portal and start the implementation with selected solution provider after the sector agency has approved the application. Currently, IMDA and Sector Lead Agency have identified a demand from 20 sectors or subsectors, and IMDA is looking for digital solutions to meet the requirements of these sectors on the supply side. These solutions need to be proven and meet the criteria defined in the vendor self-assessment checklist. If you have solution that corresponds to the criteria listed in the checklist, we welcome your submissions. Besides the sector requirements, there are also digital capability requirements that apply to all sectors. These are digital capabilities like cybersecurity, data analytics, PDP, and IoT to ensure completeness and robustness of the proposed solutions. Next is the pre-approval process for vendors. At stage 1, steps 1 to 3, vendors should self-assess their onboarding eligibility and solution eligibility before attempting to do a full submission. You should do a pre-assessment of your proposed solution using the vendor self-assessment checklist to check that it fulfills the criteria that the respective sector is looking for. Always attend the vendor briefing to understand the requirements. After you have attended, then you will proceed to the checklist stage. A gentle reminder that you must submit the completed checklist within 3 months of your company's attendance at the vendor briefing. And if your solution meets all the mandatory requirements, you may submit the completed checklist with all the necessary supporting documents. At stage 2, step 4 is the submission of documents stage, where you need to tell us your solution is what IMDA is looking for. Next is the stage 3, step 5 to 6. After IMDA assesses your submission, you may be invited for a tech demo session together with the sector lead, where you can demonstrate your solutions to them. Just to highlight, the lead time for step 2 and step 3 depends on the completeness of your solution, and solution will be reviewed and processed serially upon completed submission. Finally, at stage 4, if your solution is shortlisted, you will be requested to submit the application form via the pre-approval system. At this stage, IMDA will then review and at the same time provide guidance on your proposed price packages so as to ensure that the packages meet the scope of the requirements with clarity, and SME customers can adopt the solution as hassle-free as possible. As you may be aware that the Productivity Solution Grant PSG supports companies keen on adopting IT solutions and equipment to enhance business processes. Hence, the pricing of the package must cater to micro SMEs and SMEs for easy adoption, and the solution should be scoped according to the purchase pattern of your customer. Do also note that the pricing has to be before GST. At step 8, you will know if your application is approved or rejected. Upon approval, IMDA will issue the letter of appointment for a period of 12 months. For step 9 and step 10, vendor will need to accept the letter of appointment via the pre-approval system, and thereafter your solution will be listed on the respective government websites, and vendors may promote their market and sell their solution with grant support. Please note that the lead time for step 4 to 7 is about 3 months. This is an overview of the vendor self-assessment checklist. There are 3 areas that IMDA is looking for in your submission. Firstly, vendor fulfillment of onboarding criteria. There are 9 criteria for the vendor to fulfill. These criteria will be explained in detail in the next slides. Next, desired features of your solution. If your solution has the ability and features to meet the sector requirements. For example, a vendor providing HRMS solution needs to adhere to IRA's tax policies, such as the Auto Inclusion Scheme, AIS for short. Accounting solutions, on the other hand, need to be listed on IRA's accounting software register prior to pre-approval. If your solution generates, sends, and receives digital invoices, then it needs to be PEPL ready, which is the e-invoicing standard for solutions which create and update invoices and manage sales transactions to facilitate a seamless and faster process through adherence of a standard digital format. And lastly, your solution needs to be cloud-based. SaaS model is preferred. Please make sure that your solution meets all the mandatory requirements and features prior to your submission. Next, for standards and best practices, IMDA will also assess whether your solution aligns with industry standards and best practices, such as, does your company have a trust mark for personal data protection? Examples of solutions which collect personal unique identifier are HRMS, workforce management systems, and visitor management systems. And for solutions that collect personal data, information such as NRIC, does the solution conduct security vulnerability assessment to ensure that any security loopholes are being addressed? As a first step, you may visit this link or scan the QR code to perform a self-assessment of your onboarding eligibility. After self-assessment, if you are ineligible, please do not submit a vendor self-assessment checklist. You may read the FAQ or ask any questions during this vendor briefing to address your doubts. On the left-hand box, you can see the results demonstrating that you can meet the eligibility, while on the right-hand box, you can see the results demonstrating that you cannot meet the eligibility. These are the 8 pre-approval assessment areas, namely vendor track record, financial soundness, good track record with government agencies, and availability of resources and quality of service. So the purpose of these criteria is to ensure that vendors must be able and capable of serving the SME market in Singapore. Vendor must be financially stable. Vendor has good track record with government agencies, and vendor must have good quality and adequate resources to deploy projects and provide support to SMEs. If you are unable to meet any of the 8 assessment areas, please do not proceed to submit a vendor self-assessment checklist. So these are the assessment areas in affordability, marketing resources, quality of solution, and productivity impact. If you can meet the onboarding criteria, you can visit IMDA ICM website and select a checklist based on where your solution best fits. Always check that you are using the latest version before submitting to IMDA. If you have downloaded a generic self-assessment checklist, you can see that there are 5 tabs. The first tab is the instructions. You should read and understand what is required of you. In the general assessment worksheet, you are required to self-assess if you can fulfill the additional requirements. Take note that you have to complete the declaration on data analytics and personal data protection. If your solution captures personal data and/or have data analytics components, you are required to fulfill this requirement before submitting the checklist to IMDA. Take note that there are some requirements that will go live from 1st December 2024 onwards. You are strongly encouraged to embark on fulfilling these requirements before the deadline. In the Solution Category Requirements tab, you will select a category that best fits your solution and self-assess if you can meet all the mandatory requirements. If you are unable to meet any mandatory requirements, please ensure your solution is able to meet before submitting a checklist submission to us. In the Solution Category Requirements tab, you will select a category that best fits your solution and self-assess if you can meet all the mandatory requirements. In the Satisfactory Survey tab, you will need to ensure that you have filled up the company UEN, company name, and solution name so that the link in the customer satisfaction survey will appear. Your customers will be brought to any SG form where they will fill up their company information and rate your services. Your customers will need to log in using their SingPass to complete the survey. To verify their inputs against the submitted reference invoices you will provide as part of the approval process. You should monitor the completion of these surveys with your customers directly. Once you have 5 completed surveys, input 5 to number of surveys completed. In the last worksheet, the overall dashboard gives you an overview of the Excel filing completion status. You should not submit if you see the red alert. Only upon seeing the green sign, then you should proceed to embark on the submission. While pending the completion of vendor self-assessment checklist, 5 customer surveys and all other documentation, you can perform the following. For new ICM vendors who do not have an account with us, you should go to CorpPass to assign the registered account SingPass holder with IMDA Media Service access rights. Note, you must grant access to 2 SingPass account holders. Secondly, then proceed to create an account in SGDPAS. Finally, you can embark on a draft submission where there are some more questions to fill up. If you need assistance, please download the manual to self-help. This slide shows the estimated timeline from attending the vendor briefing. A gentle reminder that you must submit the completed checklist within 3 months of your company's attendance at the vendor briefing, to step 7, which is the publication of solution on the website. Just to highlight, the lead time for step 2 and step 3 depends on the completeness of your solution, and solution will be reviewed and processed serially upon completed submission. Note that the lead time for step 4 to 7 is about 3 months. Here are some of the FAQs you may have. What should I populate in the in the field for the 5 satisfied customer field. So please note, if your customer has submitted their survey via SG form, please upload a blank file for the field survey form. And then you should proceed as per normal for the rest of the fields. So this is for question 1. And question 2, can I submit the application without 5 surveys completed? No, unfortunately, you have to have 5 completed surveys in the checklist. Next is the pre-approval process option for contract extension. The current appointment contract is valid for 1 year, with the option to extend the contract for another year, subjected to IMDA and sector lead agency approval. To be eligible for +1 year contract extension, vendors are required to have a minimum of 5 approved PSG applications, which is 5 adoptions recorded within the first 11 months of the existing contract period, and vendors should not have any outstanding complaints at the point of extension. Note that this criteria is subjected to changes and may vary across sectors. Lastly, I would like to highlight that the maximum contract period is 2 years, and upon contract expiry, vendors are required to submit the solution for approval again from step 1 to step 7. Note that no reminders will be provided prior to contract expiry, and vendors are advised to submit their solution for pre-approval 3 to 6 months prior to contract expiry. Here are the assessment areas: good track record with government agencies, industry relevance of solution, and no unresolved customer complaints. So the purpose of the contract extension criteria are: vendors must possess good track record with government agencies, vendor's solution is relevant to the market and industry, and vendor must deliver good solution and services to SMEs. If I received the notice of cooling period issued by IMDA, so the cooling period is a 1 year duration during which a vendor who has failed to meet contract extension criteria would have to wait before applying for a new contract. So IMDA suggests for any vendors given a cooling period to do the following: conduct a comprehensive review of internal processes and operations, identify areas for improvement, and implement necessary changes. And also to seek feedback from previous application to understand the issues. Next is the pre-approval vendor obligations and consequences. As an appointed vendor under the SMEs Go Digital program, we would like to share with you some good practices to maintain during your appointment period. The key areas are to drive SME digitalization using tools like CTO as a service, adhere to letter of appointments terms and conditions, provide excellent customer support, and to build internal capabilities to ensure business continuity. There are consequences for breaching the letter of appointments terms and conditions. The 4 possible consequences are warning letters. Vendors may receive warning letters issued by IMDA or grant processing agencies like Enterprise SG, suspension on listing on Business Grant Portal. There will be a 1 year cooling period for those that receive more than or equal to 3 written warnings. And lastly, termination of letter of appointment. So these are the 4 possible consequences of breaching the letter of appointments terms and conditions for pre-approval program. So we would like to encourage all to stay compliant to avoid violations that may lead to the issuance of a warning letter. So do not offer incentives, do not be directly involved in PSG applications and claims submissions. Ensure service delivery team keeps to customer commitments and delivers in accordance. Comply with advertising and marketing guidelines, and issue invoices and quotations that match with Annex 3. Please communicate this to everyone in your company. We would like to remind all vendors not to breach the IMDA pre-approval program terms and conditions by performing impersonation. Impersonation is a serious offense that can result in termination or suspension of appointment. Examples of impersonation are pretending to be an employee of SME to contact Enterprise SG to find out grant approval process and or to apply for BGP grants. Please communicate the above information to your sales team, project team, current and future customer base. Impersonation can take many forms, including pretending to be an IMDA officer, a government official, or a representative of another company. This can also include providing BGP applicants details to government officers, such as their BGP application, ID, email address, phone number, and other personal information with the intention of deceiving the officer into believing that you are the BGP applicant. Vendors should always be truthful and transparent when communicating with any parties and should not engage in any activity that could be perceived as impersonation. Vendors should also not falsely represent themselves as employees of an SME by adding themselves to the SME's CorpPass account to handle BGP matters. This is a serious offense that can result in termination or suspension of appointment. It is important to note that failure to comply with the IMDA pre-approval program terms and conditions can result in legal action and damage to the vendor's reputation. Therefore, we urge all vendors to take this warning seriously and to ensure that they always act with integrity and honesty in their business dealings. These are the two FAQs on impersonation. If my customer has given me consent to follow up on behalf, is this permissible? Please note that this is not permissible for vendors to follow up on behalf of their customers, even if the customer has given explicit consent. Vendors should advise their customers to follow up directly with the relevant authorities or seek guidance from their supervisor or legal department. It is important to assure that all actions taken are in compliance with the pre-approved vendor terms and conditions, as failure to comply with these terms can result in termination or suspension of your appointment. And where can SMEs get help if they need assistance in BGP matters? They can approach SME centers or the relevant sectors. They can visit the Enterprise SG website, fill out the Contact Us form, or call the hotline. This is a summary of the common breaches to terms and conditions. So what is expected and the common pitfalls. So please take note of code of conduct, advertising, and retrospective BGP applications. So for retrospective PSG applications, vendors and SMEs can commence work once PSG application is put forth. However, SME must be aware that if BGP application fails, there is an agreed recourse. Work and collection of payment cannot commence before PSG application is submitted into the portal. In the upcoming slides, I will be sharing on how the revised data analytics and personal data protection requirements in the vendor self-assessment checklist that you need to align your digital solutions to. The use of data analytics is on the rise, and it will play a central role in business operations for years to come. The capability of businesses to leverage the data sets and information to make data-driven decisions will be a determining factor in their competitiveness both today and in the future. However, it is equally important for businesses to ensure that they adequately have security measures in place to protect the personal data in their possession to build consumer trust and confidence. For SMEs with limited resources and lack of competency, it is challenging for them to get started on data use and protection. To help SMEs bridge these gaps, IMDA is looking at enabling responsible use of data through pre-approved solutions to help SMEs thrive in the digital economy. Embedding data analytics and personal data protection requirements in pre-approved solutions will benefit SMEs as it allows easy access to the dashboards or visualization features to analyze data to improve business outcomes and built-in measures to better manage personal data protection risks. This will help to enhance SMEs' digital competency and safeguard the consumer's personal data. Starting from 1st December 2024, all digital solutions must comply with the revised data analytics requirements to qualify for pre-approval at SME Go's digital program. Additionally, digital solutions that collect and store personal data must also adhere to the revised personal data protection requirements. Failure to meet these requirements by the stipulated deadline may result in the delisting of standing pre-approved digital solutions. Most of the revised data analytics and personal data protection requirements should not be foreign to you, as they have been kept as preferred requirements to give a head start for some time. IMDA has also done a quick poll with the existing vendors and found that most digital solutions are able to meet the data analytics and personal data protection requirements. Most of the digital solutions will need to meet the two data analytics requirements, except for these in 3D modeling, immersive visualization, and analysis, computer-aided design, and computer-aided manufacturing, in short, CAD or CAM, digital marketing packages, and document management system. So for the digital solutions with personal data, please note that there is a total of 6 requirements that you will need to meet. So this slide outlines the 6 personal data protection requirements. These requirements are not new, but they are now mandated, emphasizing the importance of integrating key protection measures such as encryption, multi-factor authentication, and backup in digital solutions to enhance protection of personal data and enable quick recovery in the event of a data breach. This shift from being preferred to being mandated signifies a heightened emphasis on data security and resilience in digital solutions. It is crucial for all digital solutions to comply with the data analytics and personal data protection requirements by 30th November 2024 to be eligible for pre-approval under the SME's Go Digital team. As part of the declaration and validation process, you are required to complete an online declaration form with the necessary supporting documents prior to submitting your application to the SME's Go Digital team. Refer to the steps you will need to do. So you have to visit the provided link, to view the list of mandatory data analytics and personal data protection requirements. Familiarize yourself with the specific requirements and guidelines outlined by IMDA. Note that your digital solution does not need to meet the personal data protection requirements if it does not collect, use, disclose, process, or dispose of personal data. Gather the necessary supporting documents such as images, screenshots, write-ups, or any other relevant materials that demonstrate how your digital solution meets the requirements and submit them via the online declaration form. After submission, IMDA will review and validate your submission. They may require approximately 2 to 4 weeks to complete the review process. Once your submission has been validated, IMDA will provide an email confirmation of compliance. Upon receiving the confirmation from IMDA, attach the email confirmation in your application to the SME's Go Digital team. Should you have any queries, please write in to the email below, Data Protection Essentials at imda.gov.sg. Please also refer to the link for a video briefing if you need more information on the requirements. So this slide is on pre-approved solutions for cybersecurity. Based on a checklist published on 9 May 2024, CSA Cyber Essentials mark has been made a preferred requirement for vendors. Please refer to the link for a video briefing on the Cyber Essentials requirements. Next is the sharing of CTO as a service. IMDA has developed a one-stop platform, a web application for SMEs to have quick access to various digitalization resources. SMEs can self-assess their digital readiness and receive a list of recommended solutions based on their business profiles. They can also search and compare the functions of pre-approved digital solutions and contact the vendors via this platform. In addition, CTO as a service connects SMEs to a shared pool of solutions, a shared pool of consultants for digital consultancy and project management services. IMDA has appointed Essential and Stone Forest to provide such services. SMEs can engage the digital consultants for guidance to better understand their business needs and priorities. Based on an in-depth needs analysis, the consultants will tailor digital solutions and training roadmaps for the company, which also reference the industry digital plans available for the various sectors. The digital consultants would help SMEs manage the digital project implementation, which will take into consideration the impact of key stakeholders such as employees, customers, suppliers, and many more. Eligible SMEs can enjoy free digital consultancy and project management services. You might ask, what are the benefits of this platform to approved solution vendors and the SMEs? For potential partners like yourself, upon approval by IMDA, your solutions will be more easily discovered and searched by SME and users on the platform. With platform enhancements currently underway, SME and users will soon be able to find ratings and read the reviews of the solutions available. This will instill confidence and trust in your solution. To SME and users, CTO as a service is a one-stop platform to address most of their digitalization needs, helping them make informed decisions faster. Here is a recap of the key features of CTO as a service. Please scan the QR code to access the platform and check out the various features after this session. Next, I would like to introduce Mr. Dutch Ng, who is part of our SMEs Go Digital Advisory Committee in SG Tech. He will elaborate on how SG Tech can help you and the industry on this program. Dutch, over to you.
Thank you, Pauline. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. And coming to our new November 2024, right? First day. And great to see every one of you well and good today. Yeah, my name is Dutch Ng, part of EdGTech SME Go Digital Committee members. To our old friend and existing member of EdGTech, it's nice to have you with us again. And to our new friends, right, who are unfamiliar with EdGTech, do let me give you some brief introduction. EdGTech is a premium trade association for tech industry in Singapore. We have nearly over 1,200 corporate members today, even ranging from innovative startups, vibrant small, medium-sized enterprises to top MNCs, who are representing and articulating any technology industrial concern to relevant authorities and stakeholders. We at GTech strive to cater an ecosystem that anticipate trends and develop sustainable initiatives to strengthen the communities and help the ICT industry to grow. And our mission is to catalyze a thriving ecosystem that powers Singapore as a global tech powerhouse. And I would like to share this EdGTech networking opportunity, which is highly recommended to take part. At EdGTech, right, we introduce a series of regular events every first week of each month. Oops. Monday for members, Monday is for members Monday, we call it. Network with EdGTech member, we're sharing your company's design topic for panel discussions, presentation, and interactive session among the members. And Tuesday, right, is a Tech Tuesday, Tuesday, right? Tech Tuesday. We're sharing like new upcoming technical knowledge with panel discussion and also with interactive session as well. And Wednesday for Workforce W, sharing new insight on talent, human capitals, employment engagement, even on organization development. And Friday is for Founders Fridays, means that good for startups, companies seeking for business sharing, ideas, or any strategic advice. And we provide networking with businesses, founders, and owners. EdGTech strategy comes with two-pronged thrust. We position Singapore as a pivotal global digital and data hub, emphasizing the foundation of trust. Second, we are dedicated to take part in collective action, contributing to solutions that address both Singaporeans and global sustainability challenges. Also, by supporting these two key strategic initiatives, with business endeavors, is also our commitment to cultivating and leveraging talent in the technology sector. Briefly, I would like to share with you that the organization structure of EdGTech. We have the Board of Governance and Council member, which are not in this slide. We're overseeing the alignment of all the chapters and committees. And at the top, right, we have the steering committees that encompass of the sustainability and tech talent. Next, we have these various chapters and committee, a total of 8 chapters, 2 committee for you or interest to join us, and 5 advisory committees. I will elaborate further on this in the next few slides. To coordinate the need of a subsector within the ICT space, we have formed industrial chapters and committees to support the strategic and emerging sector. We have classified our chapter into tech verticals and non-tech horizontal. Under the tech verticals, we have AI and high-performance computing chapters to demystify or simplify the understanding of AI for businesses and increasing adoption and creating awareness on data ethics, governance of AI, and business opportunities. Cloud and data chapters is to help businesses in underlying the journey of embarking on cloud, driving adoption for leveraging technology to build a more robust business model and open up new opportunities. And cybersecurity chapters is to promote the awareness and adoption of cybersecurity in Singapore, and also to boost up the talent pipeline for the viability of Singapore cybersecurity industry. And those for this non-tech horizontal, we have digital transformation chapters that aim to speed up the innovation and to drive the success of digital transformation of Singapore businesses. Next, we also have Singapore enterprise chapters. This is to promote and to build an active, healthy ecosystem for local tech SMEs, which is very vital of Singapore digital transformation. This also creates a lot of favorable conditions that to allow tech SME to flourish and venture into overseas. Smart Nation chapters, we engage Smart Nation Digital Government Office, or SNDGO, and stakeholder take part in key agencies into build environment sectors to bridge local solution providers to overseas markets, also exporting local ideas and solution and spur innovation in their solution. We did have formed some new chapters from the committee from last year, the Digital Trust and Data Center. So data center chapters to promote the greater efficiency of Singapore data center industry as an essential element of the eco-friendly digital infrastructure are needed to sustain the continual or digital growth of the nation. Digital Trust chapter, we foster a novel or digital trust industry, with serving as a catalyst for enhancement, collaboration between companies and nations, which we aim of positioning Singapore tech sector as a forefront leader in digital trust. Platform company education technology community are also gaining some traction. We also formed these two communities to cater to the needs. And companies yourself that join EduTech as a member can choose which chapters that you prefer to be involved. And each chapters can plan for activities, initiative, and to engage within chapters members and the industry members. Not only the chapters, EduTech also spin off this committee that cater for the industry needs. Like other committees are data protection advisory committees, digital and trust center of excellence committees, next generation of network committees, government procurement advisory committees, SME Go Digital Advisory Committee, which we are formed of this committee today. And we plan a lot of serious chapters within the 8 chapters and other communities. We share ideas that coming up, solutioning or enhance your solution as well. And also we have this called the Tech Partner Platform. And later I will elaborate more in my next few slides. Just to note that new chapters and committees will be launched in response to the technology industry continue to grow and need. If you need to know more about EduTech, right, do write to us or sound it out to us at this. I just want to repeat this email address, membership@edutech.org.sg. Simple. membership@edutech.org.sg. As mentioned, what are the key benefits, right, as part of EduTech families, right? Definitely we have a seat in our committees and to voice out actively or taking part in advocacy effort. And also like a gateway, a platform to engage in a two-way exchange type with our leaders and collaborative environment as to shape the new significant advancement in digital transformation. It also acts as a springboard that we create lasting and impactful result for your business, both domestic and international. A committee at the upfront or spearheading the adoption of technology. Everything here we talk about tech. So as I shared, right, we have more than about 1,002 plus company members right now, that ranging from MNC, large local enterprises, even small and medium-sized company, providing a full range of tech spectrum as to influence, providing insight, and domain sharing for the industry. As mentioned about this Tech Partner Program, right, I would like to share more initiative as we receive a lot of good feedback from vendor on this establishing your business and technology partnership that can help to expand their offering and customer base. So with the Tech Partner, right, here are the things that you can achieve from this program. First is the technology partnership. This refers to identify a partner whose solution can match or even complement yours to cater for a client projects. And next is like a reseller or distribution partnership. You can also find a partner who can distribute your solution, or you can find new solution to expand your portfolio. Another possible outcome will be your strategic partnership, meaning like forming a strategic alliance with new partner product development or for any market expansion. As this list is not exhaustive, that you may also request for other form of partnership that can add value to your business. And do talk to us or our secretary or write to us. We also actively post a lot of information and media on our website, or do follow us in social media for the latest update, events, news, even some research information and some technology trend as well. I'll stay here for a few seconds if you want to capture this QR code. Okay, here should come my slide. So we do accept membership for both Singapore-based and overseas company. Interested, please do scan our QR code here. And I would like to thank our partner like IMDA for supporting this webinar. I hope that you can find this information useful for your organization. I wish you have a fruitful webinar ahead. Thank you. Over to you, Pauline. Pauline, over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Dutch. We have now come to the FAQ segment of the briefing. Before we open the floor for questions, let me go through some of the common FAQs we have received. First question, my solution is a proven solution used by many MNCs, government agencies, and SMEs from other countries for many years, but I do not have any local SME customers. Can I submit my solution for pre-approval? The answer is no. You will need to provide customer references from your local SME customers. These 5 satisfied local SMEs must not be subsidiaries and affiliated to one another. As part of the evaluation, we need to assess if your solution can fully meet the needs of local SMEs and that your company has the necessary track record, such as sales and after sales, in serving local SMEs. Next question, why are 5 satisfied customers required? 5 satisfied customers are required to show that the solution has good track record in the industry and is able to deliver the intended outcome. Question 3, my solution has been very established overseas, but has yet to launch locally. Would my overseas clients be qualified as part of satisfied customers? The answer is no. The 5 satisfied customers submission have to demonstrate their solutions are implemented locally. Question 4, for how long must the satisfied SMEs be using my solution before they are qualified to fill out the customer satisfactory survey? The answer is the 5 satisfied local SMEs must have used your solution for at least 6 months and not more than 18 months and still using the solution as at the date of your submission. Question 5, how do I know whether my 5 satisfied customers are SMEs? The customers need to fulfill the following criteria as an SME. The revenue group annual sales turnover should not exceed 100 million or group employment size of not more than 200 workers. The second criteria is at least 30% local shareholding must be held by a Singaporean or Singapore PRs. Question 6, my solution is a software as a service that anyone in the world can sign up and use, including SMEs in Singapore. I have more than 5 satisfied Singapore SME customers. My company can provide 24/7 customer service, phone support, and email included from outside Singapore. Can I submit my solution for pre-approval? The answer is currently we are unable to pre-approve solution vendors that have no presence in Singapore. You must either set up a local office or partner a local reseller to offer your solution. Your local office or partner may submit the solution for pre-approval if it meets all the mandatory requirements stated in the vendor self-assessment checklist. Question 7, my solution meets the requirements of multiple solution categories in the vendor self-assessment checklist. Which checklist should I submit? My solution meets the requirements of multiple solution categories in the vendor self-assessment checklist. May I submit more than one solution for pre-approval? If your solution meets the requirements of multiple solution categories, you may choose to submit multiple vendor self-assessment checklists for your solution to be pre-approved under the respective solution categories. Each submitted checklist must come with its own set of supporting documents as specified in the checklist, such as 5 satisfied customer surveys and invoices. Question 8, my solution is widely utilized by SMEs in many industries, but it is not listed in any of the solution categories in the checklist. Is my solution eligible to be pre-approved under SMEs Go Digital Program? IMDA works with respective sector agencies to curate the types of digital solution which benefits the SMEs within the industry. As long as your solution fulfills the criteria stated within the checklist, we welcome your checklist submission with all the supporting documents. Question 9 and 10, you can read on your own. I just want to highlight question 10. I am a reseller of a proven solution and it is already pre-approved under PSG. Can I still participate in the program? The answer is yes. You can still participate in SMEs Go Digital Program as long as on-board requirements are fulfilled. These are the further FAQs for question 11, 12, and 13. Question 14 and 15, highlighting question 15, how much will the qualifying cost for my solution? It varies based on the solution category you are applying for. Before your submission, please ensure all these points are addressed. Ensure that you are using the latest version of the completed checklist. Ensure all the tabs within the vendor self-assessment checklist are filled up with supporting notes to ascertain the features of proposed solution. Ensure 3 years of financial statements are submitted. If your company is incorporated less than 3 years, you can just submit all the audited financial statements to date to complete your submission. Ensure only one solution category of the sector-specific tab is to be filled up. For reapplication, previously submitted 5 satisfied customers cannot be reused. Lastly, ensure that your company details are filled up correctly in SMEs Go Digital Pre-Approval System. By failing to fulfill the above points without any valid reason will attribute to the delay in processing of your submission, so please make sure you check those. To recap, this is the onboarding requirement to get your pre-approved solution approved by IMDA. With effect from now, all new contracts will be approved to a 1+1 year contract appointment. After you get approval, your solution will be listed on the Business Grants portal for your SME customer to apply for grant support. You can ask your SME customer to find out about their eligibility by contacting the number provided or email directly for advice.